Yo. What's up, everybody? How are you today? Alright. Earl Burn, what's up? Light Jack, hello. Pasta, what's going on? Fabby, how are you? What's up, Arslan? What's going on? Alright. We actually may do a couple of other things today. Practical Rook, what's up, buddy? How are you? It's quiet today, apparently. Sundays have been fairly quiet, usually. I think I may screw around, actually. We may move into the art section, actually, in a minute. And I may screw around with that Elden Ring animation that I was working on a while back. I want to keep playing with that. And we can chat. Yeah, Lady Lark said you guys' chat went well. Eclipse, what's up, buddy? How are you? Welcome. You know what? Let me do that. I think I want to do that today. Arts. Ring NES. Animation. Bam. Rook's doing great. Nice. Taking the hair. Thank you. Yeah, I need to dye it. I want to make it lighter again. Arrow Kev, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the Prime. Everybody throw some hearts in chat, show some love. You only get the one Prime sub. I'm honored you choose to use it here. Thank you very much. All right. Let's open a Sprite. I have not done work for a while like this. I'm an ace sprite in a bit. Alright. Bio Invasion, what's up? Welcome. How are you today? Hope things are going well. Oh, you're on my tablet. Probably just going to work with the mouse today, so let's throw you up here. Micah, what's up, buddy? Le Art? I think we're going to do Le Art today, yeah. That's not the right one. We need to find Le Art first. How many hours you spent on your Curdle Jam submission? It's a 2-week jam. I'm going to say 1. And did you win? Nemphis, what's up, buddy? How are you today? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Where is... Here it is. All right, let's flop ourselves around over here. And I can show you this ridiculousness. Motzi, what's up, buddy? How are you today? I hope you're doing well. I'm not really cool, but I try to pretend to be cool on the internet. Spent 0 hours on that jam. I mean, I got you beat on that. I spent 0 hours on it as well. So I guess I don't have you beat, but I've got you tied. So we're equally as good. Unfortunately, neither of us will win, though. Of course, Curdle Jam, there are no winners, so we are winners at the same rate. I'm like, internet cool? You mean I fake it for other people? On TV? Want you to be a... This animation has gotten out of hand. It's not too bad right now. We're only at 133 frames currently. Kak, what's up, buddy? You gotta go to sleep? Go to sleep. Have nice dreams. Thanks for saying hey. Hope you have a good one. Spent 4 hours on a 4-day jam. So an hour a day? There you go. That works. So this Monster of an Aseprite file? Okay. Still working on that one. That's kind of the... So this is what I have so far in this animation. Character walks up. It's gonna drink an... It's gonna take its physic, drink an Estus, go into the fog gate. Then you're there with Radagon, and then I have kind of this animation that I like have kind of semi-started. And yeah, I want to get this. So basically, I want to get this animation done. Done relatively soon. So that way I can like do something with it when the Elden Ring DLC comes out. You know. It's not that bad of an Aseprite file. It's not that thick of a file. It's just a lot of frames of animation. And I don't know if doing this whole animation in Aseprite is the smartest thing to do. But we're doing it. 3.5 days of being busy, then 4 hours of working. That works too. Who cares if it's smart? I agree. Smart's overrated. I do feel like my camera's in a weird spot, though. Hey, look, it's me. That fixes it. All right, so I need to get, if you've played Elden Ring, towards the end of the game, when you go into the final boss fight, you're basically walking into the Erd Tree, which is the big giant tree that you see throughout the game. So this is all kind of woody around, so I did start kind of getting like a look and effect that I want here. Haven't really fully flushed it out, but that's kind of the beginning. And then with the animations, I also have the top HUD and the weapons section, which I'm also still trying to work through. So as you come up, I want to have the physic go around. I need to make some of this stuff change here when you get the physic. And then you do see the health goes up there when we drink the flask. And then we need to go into this animation and have this all happen where I want to have like Radagon's text kind of pop up. The idea is we're making Elden Ring as if you were playing it on the NES, right? Going into that final boss fight. So overall, the game's probably going to look like I kind of wanted to make it look more like in, Final Fantasy style RPG. But that was the kind of idea with it. And right now, I'm not switching. The other thing I need to do right now is here, in this part of the animation, I really like this effect of the whole thing kind of like moving down. But then I need to make down here, this needs to switch over to the Sacred Flask. And then use that, and then that makes the health go up. Okay, so we need to replace that flask as well. Dan Power, what's up, buddy? How are you today? Welcome. Hit that. So I think first things first, let's go ahead. I'm already kind of in this animation flow with this, so let's go and we need to swap this flask out for the Sacred Flask once we get there. So let's go ahead and grab that layer. Go ahead and copy that, and then we're going to take that down up to our HUD layer. And we need to swap it about here. So at this point, we need to get rid of this flask. Oh, shit. I need to place you where I can see you. Then we'll get into there. Pistowinka. It's a hell of a name. What's up, buddy? How you doing? That seems like you know what you like. Alright, so we're going to need to flash that over, and that's going to need to extend into all of these now. So all these moving forward need to be replaced with this. So we need to merge this down. And then basically copy this over across all these. So we switch around the correct flask. And I think what we'll do with the flask is we'll put a number with it, and then we'll just decrease the number. And that should make it look like we drank one. What level should we be at? I guess going into the final fight, you're usually, you know, got like 7 or 8. Haven't seen me in about a year. I mean, I'm around. I exist. I do things. You know, it's the weekend right now, so just chilling. How have you been? What you Arden? We are making an Elden Ring animation that is in the NES style. So there goes the physic. There goes that. Alright, I didn't pay attention to the changeover though. That swap. Okay, we got to make that swap more interesting. I think in the actual game you get little cards that swap over, but we're not going to really have the space to do that. So we're going to have to like flash it, I think. So on this first frame, let's go ahead and grab that. Just fill all this area. Oh, that's only on the weapons section. Okay. Layering in this animation is a pain in the ass. Demake? Kinda. I do stuff when you guys force me to. Sometimes. Sometimes I'm amenable. Other times I just don't answer. So, I guess it depends on the moment. This is a single frame of flash. Yeah, look at that. Just a single frame of a flash gives that transition of changing items. And what we can do to really sell it is on this frame. We just outline this bastard. And what that will do... Ah, crap. What that will do is that'll kind of make it, the flash seem like it's coming out of it. I don't like... I use the white. I don't want to use the white. I want to use that color. Try the outside with this as well. Nah, take it back. Don't like it as much. Cool. Sometimes you gotta try. Alright, we'll leave it at that. Now you can call Ask Lady Dark to make me do stuff. Yeah, she'll make me do stuff, but, you know. Sometimes. I am more likely to listen to her. This is true. We also need to figure out what buffs we're going to add with the Physic. I should probably just make these two pop up when we get there. Or when we take it. So let's do that. So anytime before the Physic. Once it takes effect, that's when I want to pop them on. So starting here. We're just going to delete those. I'll just take this all the way back. So all I'm doing is just copying. I try to keep everything as split out as I can in terms of layers. That way I can just kind of like duplicate them across the whole board and let them be fine. Okay, so now we don't have... Now there's no buffs. We take our Physic. Our buffs appear. I would like to make the buffs appear in a more interesting way. Because that's boring if they just all three appear at the exact same time. When do they appear? What frame? 57. Okay, so let's go... I want them to kind of come out one at a time, I think. At the very least. So let's go here and here. And I think I make them all gold first. On their first frame of entering. See if that gives a nice little flash to it. So we'll throw that in. Just fill out this whole thing. And let's see. So now when we splash the Physic... Ooh, I like. I thought about also making like the stamina go up a little bit. But for now, we'll leave it. Okay, so now we take the Physic. Those come in. We switch over to that. We take that. Oh, I jacked up the health growing. Uh-oh, I broke it. Whoops, totally overwrote the health growing. That's a pain in the ass. Oh well. I can redo that. It's not hard. So when we take the yellow, when we take the Physic, or take the flask, splash here, all we gotta do is go... like that. Streams look quiet. What did I do? It's a Sunday and nobody cares if I'm not doing video game shit. This is what I was talking about, right? So if I'm not just giving with like playing games and shit, nobody cares. Unless I'm doing something. Man, you're looking so just late. It's Saturday. It's quiet. No, our viewership is shit right now. Even for a Sunday. It's just how it's been. It's kind of why it's like, it's so volatile now. That's kind of why I'm like, I'm kind of stopping caring about the... I don't know. I'm trying to not let viewer numbers and all that shit matter anymore, because it used to literally conduct and make me adjust my self-worth based on it, and it's not worth it. I can't do it anymore. So now I'm just gonna have fun, and I'm gonna make a thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe for once I'll actually get shit done on stream. It's a concept. 4, 5. These are my loyal fans. I hate that concept. I would say you guys are the people that enjoy the things I do, no matter what. So you probably enjoy me over the specific thing. The concept of loyal fans feels gross, though. Like, if people want to hang out, I'm down. But, you know, I don't want people that... loyal fans. No. Like what you like. Don't be like a slave or a fanatic to anything. There's a lot of stuff that exists in the world and they will take care of each other. Yeah, I'm just... Fuck it. I don't care anymore. I've spent too long caring, and I can't care anymore. I can't. I need to find the joy in little things now and just enjoy doing things. And, yeah, that's where I'm at. Bye. Like counting pixels. Isn't it so enjoyable? You just count. And then we'll finish you off right here. And the rest of you need to be filled in now. So now we'll have a full health bar. What's up, Marathon? She's lurking for today. Oh, no, totally good. Honestly, it's all good. I don't lurk away. Please enjoy. Not even Lightjack, she's another stream. I'm being cheated on by Lightjack even? How dare he? It's cool. It's all good. I think I should make the yellow creep up more before it just shoots out. Actually, I think this should move quicker. So we'll get that. Just give it a bigger chunk. Alright, let's see how that looks. Oh, but I do need to shift all of that over now. Great. Alright, I'm going to move everything up about, I don't know, 5 pixels?
Good to know. I don't feel so bad. Yeah, hold on.
Yes, dear.
Can I see your pen?
Which, huh?
The mom wants to know what the brand is.
Oh. Just charging. There you go.
We like the West Coast.
She's on the phone.
The battery is like 25 bucks.
Alright, let's go heal. Get those. Heal. Yeah, that feels good. That feels good. I like that. Just trying to block out this animation. We're gonna draw things with stream on the side. Hell yeah. Just hang out. Just chill. We're all good. Effectively, I've already come to terms with the fact that over the next, like, probably year and a half or so, I'm really going to be needing to build a new kind of core audience of people that enjoy not just making video games, because I understand there are people, there are programmers, they're into making video games like that. That's like, or not just programmers, but there are people that's just what they like to do. And I'm realizing I can't just do that all the time. So there's going to be an intrinsic loss of people, especially on a live platform like Twitch, where it's like, okay, if people are coming for game dev content all the time and I'm no longer giving that, that's going to create a big shuffle away of people. And it's a lot harder to gain new people on Twitch than it is to lose old people. That's just the way it goes. You enjoy my personality? Yeah, but it's personality only goes so far, right? I don't care if you have the best personality if you're not doing something that I'm interested in now, or that's not the thing that I want to see from you, I'm not going to watch. And that's a perfectly valid and reasonable thing. Like it's not like something that's like, oh, you should like somebody for, just because of the personality. No, that's not how the internet works. That's not how content creation works or doing any of this kind of stuff, right? People go for specifics, and that's why I hug on to that game jam genre for so long. And yeah, I'm not the type of person that can just do that forever. I think a lot of people say it'll go up and down. It just is what it is, Honestly, the shift to weekends really killed the whole live stream in total. Like there was still growth going on and happening, and then me going back to work really just completely killed the whole like live streaming at growth. It killed my motivation too. So there's a big factor with that as well. But yeah, it's just you cycle, you literally always go through different cycles and change your interests, change the things you want to do. And yeah, the options are to completely ignore stuff and walk away or try to shift it. I'll try to shift it, knowing what that costs. Okay, we got the walk up. Splash, those come on. Splash. Walk in. The fog fading is going to be an interesting one. Microwave, what's up, buddy? Like the shirt? Thank you. I haven't worn it in a while. It's got a bleach stain on it. So it's one of the ones I don't wear out much anymore. It only comes out in rare occasions, like today when I didn't have any other good shirts to wear. For stream. I have other shirts to wear, but they're not ones that I wear on stream, especially like work shirts and stuff. So my work would have to pay for that kind of sponsorship. So I put this on the wrong layer is what I did. This needs to go... Oh, all of this is on the wrong layer. Ew. I'm merging HUD and weapons, and then we'll deal with it later. The layer game when you're animating is always a bitch. Okay, so we have our walk up. Stan Roy, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Welcome. So let's see. I'm really mostly. Now I'm getting caught up in like finicky little details. I'm supposed to be blocking out. I'm just realizing I should be just blocking this animation out in the larger chunks right now. Because at the moment, we walk up. What else do I need in terms of major beats? Physic. Estus. In, fade, Radagon. Now actually, okay, so now we need to actually pull in the, whatchamacallit, the text box, right? So we appear with Radagon. And I think this is my full loop? I think that's my full Radagon loop. Which is this. Okay, that feels like the full loop there. So I can start duplicating this loop. I do wish there was a way to tag stuff in... Aseprite without having the tag affect the playback option, which I'm sure there is a way and I just don't know how to do it. So we're gonna dupe that a couple of times to give ourselves some time. So now we enter, we see Radagon, we wait a second. Around here I want the text box to pop up. Let's see if I can bring all these in one. That would be nice. Threw him in at the end, but I can move him. Okay, that should be fine. So we enter, quiet. I think we'll have the text box slide in. The flashbang detail. So in if you've gone into the Radagon fight in Elden Ring, you get flashbanged at that exact moment, actually. That's legitimately how that entrance works. It's the only one that flashes to white. Radagon fog door. That's actually the only one in the game that straight up does flashbang you. Oh, that's randomizer. Let's just do Elden Ring speedruns faster. Yeah, I actually wouldn't have flashed it to white if it wasn't for the fact that it straight up does it. Let's see, there's Horaloo. Does it cut it out? Oh, that's a randomizer. God damn it. Give me the just straight up speedruns. Glitchless. So this is the moment we're trying to recreate. Basically walking up to the final door. Yeah, that was a zip run, you're right, sorry. Yeah, so putting on, doing a physic, buffing, walking up to the door, and then watch. It's the only door in the game that actually straight up flashbangs you. See, like, even your character looks back, it goes to white, and then brings you into Radagon. So yeah, that's the moment I'm trying to recreate, basically, is that walk up to the final fight, buffing, and then going through the door. Yeah, and it annoyingly goes to white. Okay, so we're gonna have a couple, like a second Radagon. And then we want to have this pop up. I'm gonna make its actual, like, movement more standard, but I think this extended more than it should have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to pull you back 2. I can cut those off. So it's duplicating at the end here somewhere. Right here. 53 looks like where it becomes a problem. Move. 53. Oh no, I was a little late. Okay, so 57, and then it stops. So we need to cut here. I need this to loop seamlessly because I'm going to keep extending it. So I need this to loop right. And I'm looking at all the, like, background particles. Because if they start getting chunky, it's going to look real weird. These were a bitch to put together. So make a small movie or game. No, this is more just for fun, just making a little animation. Yeah, this was just for fun. I was just making like a little video that I could post online and do stuff with. Like, I'm trying to get out of, I don't know how much you've heard in the last like couple weeks I've been talking about, but like I've kind of burnt out on like just the straight up making video games. It's gotten a little like dull to me, so I'm trying to I want to make more things and just have more fun. So making little animations, making like silly things like I made like 3D Magic cards. I've been playing, or like different card games. I've been playing with that. Like there's like a 3D card. So they're all cut out, pretty fun. I'm just trying to do like other things that I enjoy. I got really hung up in the flow and the like just monotony of trying to do the YouTube thing of doing a game jam after game jam after game jam. 3D cards are good. Dude, I freaking love them. They're so fun. Like, I think this one came out super cool. It's really fun. But then like when you start getting into with characters and stuff, and you can like play around with like depth on them, they're really fun too. Yeah. This was my very first one I attempted. And then I got the bill. Because I've got card games for like, I got cards from so many different games. I'm like, oh man, I could make stuff with like all these different stuff. Currently working on like, and the cut, honestly, it's kind of therapeutic. Like sitting down and meticulously cutting out a card like that, pretty therapeutic, honestly. It's just, it's nice, it's quiet. I got myself, you can sharpen X-Acto blades, so I got a little whetstone so I can just sharpen up the X-Acto blades. So the card still thinks, it depends on how many cards. Like this one, this one has 9 layers in it. All separated. I use these like sponge stickers. I have these little sponge stickers that basically like they're you know, just adhesives on both sides. So like this card is 9 layers of a single thickness. This card is like double thickness of them. This one is actually a mixture of double and single thickness, depending, to try and get the effect I was going for. So I'm still learning and I'm still experimenting with them and seeing like what the difference between like the different thicknesses is, what kind of effect it gives. Should be really cool. What's up, Alabaster One? How do I go about doing that? Literally, it's just a cutting mat and an X-Acto knife, and you just sit there, you just hold the card down, and I put on like extra light so I can really see it, and you just start cutting out around the pieces, and you can start cutting out the depth of like, because the picture's already there, so when you have multiple copies, you cut out the different like depths of the image, and then when you stack them all together, it gives you that 3D effect. Thought I glued the thin layers of plastic with super glue. No, not for these. These are actually, it's just literally that sponge, like they're still a little squishy. Like it's just that sponge material with the adhesive for what I did for this. And again, there are other ways to do it. You could do a little piece of plastic, which could be really cool. This is just what I had. So I was like, okay, I'll work with that. And then for this one, all I did was I did the exact same thing, and I just glued a strip of black like construction paper around the outside to make it cleaner. So I just haven't done that to these yet. Yeah, it's a really cool effect. I may do that. I don't have my camera set up to be able to record doing it, so I may look into doing that next week. If people are interested, we could totally do that, because it's really just, you just sit there and just, yeah, you just tiny cuts away. It's really fun, actually. So it's a super fun, like, mindless task, right? Like, it's not a very difficult one. You just kind of got to plan out at the beginning, like, okay, this is what's going to be in this layer, this is what's going to be in this layer. And for some things, it's really easy, because you can see like the foreground, background elements, and you just cut them out. Seeing it out of wood would probably look interesting. Yeah, you could definitely do stuff like that too. There are people that definitely get 3D effects like that out of wood. And the other thing is, if you had like a CNC machine, the other thing you can do is you can actually use those to make contours, and then you can actually go in with like a Dremel or something and file down those edges and actually kind of smooth them out and merge them together if you want to make actual 3D designs too. It's another thing you can do with like CNC. You can use it to cut out all the elements of like a map or something, stack them, and then blend them. It's another thing that's really cool. Take a request on which card to do? Yeah, definitely. They only take a couple hours to make, so they're really not bad. I'm fairly quick depending on the complexity of the card. Chamfer and bevel the edges. Thank you. Those are the words I was looking for. I watch a lot. I weirdly watch a lot of woodworking stuff. I don't have the ability to do it, so I'm not crazy consistent on the lingo. But yes, all of those things. I really want like a woodworking. I would love to get to do some woodworking. That's the goal, and that's what I'm kind of waiting for with like the big like kind of push on YouTube. Is when we move, I'm gonna get a full room that I get to do whatever I want with and set up however I want. Like I just get a full room that I get to work with. So I'm gonna start the transition of like moving away from video games slightly into making things with the like build and putting together of my like new room and like the studio setup that I'm going to build and all of that. Like, okay, here's how I'm doing all this stuff, because I don't have a lot of money to do it, so I'm going to have to do a lot of it cheaply. And I'm a big fan of, you know, figuring out stuff like these shelves behind me. For those of you that do know, they're literally, these are just black. Actually, let me get this. There you go. These are just like these black like plastic like material with like a wire around it, and they all clip together with these like little pegs. And I just started taking them and like wrapping them in comics to make them look more interesting. Sorry with all the lights and the glare. And then for like wall, I had a couple left over, so I was like, oh cool. So I started cutting out like, this is where the card thing started. I cut out like comic pages to like really highlight specific things on them, and I liked that, and I was like, ooh. The cutting out of that was kind of fun, and I've always wanted to make the 3D cards. So I kind of tried that, and it was really fun, really enjoyable. Honestly, weirdly soothing. So then I got a little bit, like, I got a better little X-Acto knife kit and a little whetstone to sharpen the X-Acto knives, because I don't want to waste. The one thing to keep in mind, though, is if you do want to do that, you need sharp blades. If you have dull blades, it's going to tear at the card and really make your life difficult. But I don't like the idea of having to like spend a ton of money and just buy like a ton of X-Acto blades and use new ones over and over again. So instead of that, I got the whetstone, and you can actually sharpen the X-Acto blades on it, so you can kind of always be cutting with a sharp blade. I'm still getting used to using it. I still don't have my technique perfect, so I'm not getting it quite as sharp as it should be. But, you know, it's a learning process. Get a mini lathe also. Yeah, I honestly, I love woodworking on a lathe. I like metalworking on a lathe too. I watch a ton of, if you've ever watched the channel ClickSpring on YouTube, if you like lathe work, metal lathe work, holy shit, go watch ClickSpring. If you've never watched it on YouTube, it is amazing. But the one thing is, I don't have a lot of things that I need a lathe for. I don't have a lot of things that I want to make that I need a lathe for currently. There's other tools that I would really need first before a lathe. So I don't do a lot of things that are round. And I know you can use a lathe for other things, but I honestly, like, a tool I would rather have before a lathe would be like a sanding disc or or like some sort of like belt sander. That would be like the number one before a lathe. I want like some sort of belt sander or a big sanding disc, because those things are so cool. They just eat wood. All right, I need to remove this tag now. That this is looped. And we're just going to take all this, which has nothing else down there. Perfect. And extend you out, because I'm going to need you for a while. All right, we're going to move this back, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have this box come up without Radagon in it first. So So up until... I don't want Radagon to really speak or say anything until... here. Okay, so previous to this one, all of these need to be... Let's just get rid of everything in here first, and then we can start over. Okay, so we get the box. We get Radagon to appear. Radagon, I want him to appear a little bit sooner than that. But I just want just the head here. So you're going to show up... there. And then we're going to take the nameplate, and that will show up a frame after. Shit. Breaking a sprite. Okay, so we get the flash. I want that 2 frames after, I think, actually. So let's go back to that. Box, face. Ooh, I want more? That spacing felt weird still. Who dat?
Sorry. Please believe me that I did it not on purpose.
Happy Hippie Hippo. What's up, buddy? Thank you for the tier 2 for 35 freaking months. Holy crap. Everybody throw some hearts in chat. Show some love. How you doing, buddy? How have you been? Did you just hear lathe metalworking trigger intensifies? Dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Almost 3 years? Almost 3 years. It's a long-ass time. And yes, lathes are fun. I wish I had a reason to use one. It's my biggest thing, is I don't know what I would do with one. That feels better in terms of timing. All right, I want to move this thing up. So let's go... We're going to slide this in. So we're going to put it here. I'm going to go... Damn it. Pull it up. That goes there. I could be doing this more scientifically, but... Shut up. Alright, I do need to space this out properly. God damn it. I was hoping to avoid that. Alright, well, we'll make it work from here. Fine. Fine. Although, the one thing about Aseprite is it's very difficult to, like, when I try to use the arrow keys to move something, it freaking... I think I can do it with this. There we go. 5, 6, 7. We'll do 7 frames. We'll do 7 frames of movement. The little yellow you're seeing popping through is because the black is not full on this, and I'll fix that in a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can count. Watch me count to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Couple of finicky things about Aseprite. This is one of them. Gotta keep deselecting, duplicate, select again. That should move up nicely. Almost done. Kind of like that. Get our splash. Get our health. Go in the door. Flashbang. In with Radagon. That comes up. I might need to pad out before the face shows up a little bit more. We're mostly blocking out right now. This isn't refined animation that we're focusing on. This is just making sure that it the flow is correct. This one, I do not want your face in it. There we go. That can work. Good enough. All right, we're going to save that because we haven't saved yet at all. If you're working on anything right now, please save. Saving is important. Otherwise, you're going to hate yourself later. Because nobody wants to hate themselves later. Is anyone else playing Elden Ring, or has anyone else played Elden Ring? Did anyone else get as obsessed as I did? So I'm still going back every now and then being like, whoo-hoo. I don't know if I like that color better. But I've gotten I'm way too into this game. I really want the DLC to come out. I haven't even watched the trailer because I'm like, I just want to experience it when it gets here. Okay, so I started the tree there. Nature Pixels, what's up, buddy? How are you today? Welcome. Alright, so walk up. Physic. I play Loomed already. I play games on like Saturdays. So that would be the day to check it out. On Sundays, they're more just chill because honestly, playing games too much gets exhausting. But yeah, next Saturday, definitely. We have a submit command to get into the get your game into the pool. Did I say that? All good. All good. I'm weirdly doing stuff today. Although we're probably going to do this for a little bit and then we'll probably change again. I don't know. I'm kind of in a very like work on something for a little bit mood, and then we're going to try and do other things. We'll see what happens. All right. I need to get the stupid box out of the way. Nope. Nope. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Okay, now that's going to come up. Better. So trying to get inside, I thought that was done. I'm moving. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of going in and out, right? I'm still going to do them. I just don't know if I'm going to do them every weekend like I was before. I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to gauge how I feel. Honestly, yesterday was fun. I enjoyed it again yesterday, so that helps. The problem was it got a little monotonous, right? Like, literally every Saturday, I spent 5 hours just playtesting games, and just, like, it got really, like, your brain starts to fry after a while. Literally. And then for a little while, we started having some people showing up that did a lot of bitching that I wasn't playing their game soon enough or fast enough or whatever. And that started to get really grating after a while, where it was like, what's the point? If I'm just going to be bitched at, I might as well not. Add your game form. Awesome. So what we do is on the Saturdays when we play games, we basically have a raffle. So you come in, you just throw your name in the raffle. It runs. It's a little game that I made. And then we play whatever game gets chosen. It's progressive, which means every time you enter the raffle, if you don't win, the next time you have an extra entry. And yeah, so it eventually, like, you get a higher and higher chance of winning. Did I participate in Ludwig? I didn't. I've kind of taken a break from game design or game like dev, at least on the video game side, for a bit. I really burnt out on video games. I did like 30, especially game jams. I think I did something along the lines of like 40 game jams in about 3 years. And that's too many. That's too many. Your brain can't sustain after that. So yeah, I kind of fell off for a little bit. So now I'm doing a little bit different things. I've got a board game I've been designing. No longer addicted to game jams. No, I legitimately OD'd on game jams and broke. And I'm currently in recovery. I have meetings every Tuesdays and Thursdays. We all meet in an old abandoned arcade, and we discuss our ability to not participate. Surrounded by the broken remains of our shattered friends. I overdosed on game jams. I did. I mainlined the shit. And to be fair, I did it for content, right? Like, I fell into that, became my niche on YouTube, and that was the only thing that got views. The problem is when you lean into the niche, you get views on those videos, but you really don't build outside of that, right? And unfortunately, game jams are not a popular enough thing to have a large enough audience to really grow. So eventually it stagnates, and that's kind of where I got, right? Like, I wasn't growing anymore. I was actually kind of dipping. If I did anything that's not a game jam on YouTube, it gets significantly less views and nobody pays attention to it. People then just ask me when my next game jam video is coming out. Anytime people tell me they like what I make, they say they like my game jam video. So like, all I get is like, I like the things you do with game jams and nothing else. And I've curated that, right? That's on me. It's not like that anybody, it's not like it's like, oh God, how dare these people like my game jam content. That's what I put out there and focused on. But I can't do it anymore. So there's a bit of a refactoring I'm trying to do right now. Like, psychologically, mentally, all together. Get yourself up and going. Just see for a 2D game with 3D objects, so you made an entire 3D engine-inside game maker. Take a look. I mean, if you have like a video, I'd like to take a look. If you got like a video, that'd be cool. Yeah. If you got like what it actually like comes out like, that'd be sweet. I haven't had any interest in doing 3D stuff in like the computer generated world still. I still haven't found like a desire. I do like the 3D into 2D look a lot. Or the 2D into 3D. I'm a big fan of like the poster boarding, like the Paper Mario look. I love that look. But then again, of course I love that look. Look at this kind of shit I've been making. I want to start moving towards that like nerd making community of just like making fun things. They may not be the most practical or useful things, but like they're cool and I enjoy them, and that's what I want. I want to make fun things. That fills all that. I think I have the whole thing blocked in.
$5 a month.
Vim Heart Spin Tiger Love Vim Fine Vim Heart Vim Follow Heart.
Mickey Dash, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the $5 month for 19 months. Holy shite. Everybody, throw some hearts in chat. Show some love. Dude, how are you today? Have you played Elden Ring? Are you obsessed like me? Look what we're making. You walk up to the final boss room. You take your Physic. You take your Estus, or whatever it's called in that game. You walk in. You get flashbanged. And then, you meet Radagon. And this is what we're currently making. Why? Because. Did some voxel art the other day? No, I didn't see it. Where'd you post it? I have been bad about everything, as you know. I'm still trying to people. Vampire will woke up at 9 p.m. lurking. Oh my god. Vampire mode. Oh, Jupiter, we have links blocked for like just convenience. If you click my name and click Whisper, you can just send the link. I'll read your message here. When's the next Vim Jam? Most likely September. They've been September every year, so most likely September. Oh, the link blocker never shows for you. It'll always show you the link if you post a link. It just shows stars for everyone else. Oh, that's cool. Nice skybox. Running a wide angle cam. That's a cool movement. It's a little weird that it stops and goes into the side right there. I'm imagining that that's supposed to go in the door, right? It's just going in the side at the moment. No, it's supposed to go through the wall like that? Interesting. Transition to 2D scene. Oh, up against the wall. Oh, okay, so it goes in up against the wall where, goes in up against the wall. Funky colors. Those are just placeholder colors, so you can see the different patches that you need to actually apply texture to, right? So you want to have different colors so you can see all of the different, like, vertices and planes that you need to actually make sure you work with. Go through exactly 4 walls. Interesting. Colors are not violent. Yeah, I didn't think so. That's cool looking, though. Especially if that kind of folds in and then you get a full flat scene in the 2D interacts. That's neat. Using fancy 3D words. I get a lot of it. Like, I understand the concept. Oh, it goes through 4 walls there. I see. Very nice. Yeah, only Lightjack and only the mods and VIPs can put in the full links. Littlewood, what's up, buddy? Yeah, you should still see your link if you post a link. Nobody else can see it. Your game has lore. Nice. Your Ludum Dare post. Goes into a 2D room like Undertale? Sick! Whisper the voxel. Alright, let's take a look. Is that a pea shooter from Plants vs. Zombies? Or is it a glory hole? Can't tell. Not you too? What? Wait. I mean, it doesn't fully look like the pea shooter because it really doesn't have the same head. It's just because it's green and it's a, like, attacker. You just made a turret in the Game Boy palette. Okay. People are just trying to place a thing to it then. So smart, everyone's seen your scam link now. All the stars. Yeah, that's kind of why we don't get bothered too much with people posting scam links, but especially because of the playing games, which is usually a Saturday regular before this. A lot of people would just show up and just try to spam their link into the chat, and that was annoying. It's technically a Game Boy palette with 2 times as many colors. That's not a Game Boy palette then. The Game Boy palette had 2 colors. You had on and off. You had yes and no. You had ugly shit green and darker ugly shit green. Sorry, I hate the Game Boy palette. I know people look at it so fondly. I hated it. No, I think Game Boy actually had 4. Not 3. No, not 2. It had 4. Oh, it's Ammo 8. Ammo 8's a good palette. I don't like the green of the old Game Boy. Like, as someone who grew up hating it because that's all I had to play on, yeah, I much preferred it. Like, my pinnacle was the Game Boy SP. The Game Boy SP was the shit when that came out. This was the most convenient freaking Game Boy ever. This thing is amazing. It folded. It had a backlit screen. It played regular Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance games. Like, I never had an actual Game Boy Advance. I jumped from a Game Boy Pocket to a Game Boy SP. And these things were the shit. Like, good Game Boy Color palette. The Pocket's also okay. Once you got here, we were great. How do I make these avatars appear on OBS? It is a program called Stream Avatars. You can get it on Steam, actually. It's relatively inexpensive. What is it right now? Probably, I think it's like $15. $15. And it allows you to put little characters at the bottom of the screen. So it kind of handles all the stuff. But all of the characters you see below, I made all of the art for. So you can get custom packs and stuff if you would like for like characters and whatnot. But all of the art that I have, I made myself. There's like 400 pieces of articles of clothing and stuff for all the monkeys. But that's all for me. Too expensive? Yeah, understandable. I didn't want to build it, so it was worth it for me. And definitely the amount of money I made during the time of like when I was really when I was like making my living streaming and stuff, that was people buying for like monkey stuff. Actually, it paid for itself very fast. But if you're not streaming or doing any of that kind of stuff, it's really not necessary or worth it. Unity Code Monkey has some tutorials on making it yourself using Unity. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like a lot of people have made them themselves. I thought about doing it because I was wondering if I wanted to spend the money because I like the idea of it, but yeah, it made more sense for me to spend the money because, But I also have the luxury of, well, I didn't have a job at the time. I was furloughed, but, try to make it yourself at some point. It's just what I'm trying to get, like, so I think I went through that phase too much when I started getting to, like, making games and stuff. I went through this phase where it's like, oh, I'll just make it myself. I can do that. And then I realized, yeah, I kind of can, but it's slow. It won't work as well. It's going to take a lot more time. And does it matter? Only problem is he's a setup built-in web avatar editor. Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to, right? It's like, is it worth spending the time to do it yourself? And that's something that each person's going to have to take into their own, they're going to have to balance that on their own scale. Because, yeah, I didn't want to make it. I kind of wanted to make it, but I also didn't at the same time. So, and in the end, I think I made the right choice. I just made the art for it, which is more fun. How about Broken Itch Gets? I've been on Critical Gems page for so long. It says submissions due in less than 35 minutes. No, it's not that it gets broken. It's the page. It is a front load page. So the page does not dynamic to not like keep eating up resources. The page loads when you first start, so that counter just ticks up. If you leave that page open, it will just start counting down negative. If you refresh, it'll be fixed though. They don't keep their pages permanently refreshing because it keeps a load down on everything, right? Basically, the page loads up, the information gets on there, and that's what it is. It's kind of like loading from a game without, not dynamically loading in the middle of it. Takes one line of JavaScript to force refresh the page once the timer hits 0. I mean, does it matter though? I don't know. I guess now we're getting back to the does it matter? Does anybody care? Other than you. Because the other unfortunate thing about websites and doing things is if it matters to one person, it still doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things until it starts mattering to a lot of people. Unless they have a lot of people that are annoyed by it and care, it's just not worth fixing, unfortunately. Because if I tried to make changes for every like one thing that bothered somebody specifically and no one else, you never get done. You never do anything. Now, I understand your argument here; it's reasonable, but you know, from a company perspective, I get why they probably haven't done shit. Have time now for refresh page. Here's the thing, though. What if I don't want the page to refresh? What if I needed it in the way that it was showing before, and I didn't really care that the timer was a negative, but I just needed it to not say submissions closed? And now it force refreshes my page and fucks up what I'm trying to do. So now I complain at them saying, why did it force refresh my page? I wanted to have the thing there for a screenshot. Right? Too bad. I mean, it's kind of the same way the other way around, right? It's that balance. Who do you please? Who do you please? And usually you please the people that bitch the most, right? Or the loudest and the most voices. So if it's nobody's bitching, you just don't worry about it. Don't fix what's not broken. Should have taken your screenshot before it hit 0? Okay. I mean, should have refreshed the page when it hit 0 on your own. I'm just being a dick now. What do I think about Python and Pygame? I don't know them very well. I know, from what I understand, Python is a fairly beginner-friendly language to start learning with, and I know Pygame works with it. I literally played a game that was made in Pygame yesterday, actually. But I don't know about like the actual functionality of them and how it works, so I can't really speak too much of them. But I have seen games made in them, and they seem cool. Like it seems like it does a thing. I've heard it's not as, you know, like it can do things, but it's not quite as, you know, versus like using something like Unity or like a full-blown game engine. Parkour Ninja Kitty, what's up, buddy? How are you today? Welcome. Yeah, and that's the other thing for me with like the game stuff is like most of the indie game world is surrounded by people that really like programming. And I unfortunately don't. So I am regularly like, people are like, oh, do you use this? Have you used this? What languages do you know? What do you use? And I'd have to be like, nada, unfortunately. I went to art school. I have a degree of photography. I've been working as a graphic designer and creative director for the last like 10 years. And working like marketing and advertising. So I come to games from a completely different perspective of like UX and stuff. And I learned to make games through Construct specifically because it didn't require me to learn code. And then I was able to make games, which were cool because it was a means to an end. But yeah, I'm not a programmer, and it's a weird space to play in. Like, I don't fit in with any of the peers that I have from like YouTube and stuff. Because like if I go like all the like Discord channels I'm on with other like game dev YouTubers stuff, they're all just talking code the whole time, and I'm like, I got nothing to say. What's a raid? A raid is when you end your stream and you take all the people on your stream and you send them to somebody else. It automatically changes their browser over to that person's stream, although it does attach a raid tag to your URL. So the views do not fully count unless you refresh the page or stay long enough. But the idea is it is a way to share communities around on Twitch. They used to be much bigger than they are now. Unfortunately, Twitch does not give a shit about its creators anymore. And, yeah. I'm pleased with this so far. Hello. Oh, fair enough. Cool. We're scheduling Tuesday. Yeah, not a problem at all. The mods and the broadcast get a nice Raider prompt next to your name for the next 50 minutes or so. Yeah, I mean, it's just a nice way to show. It's just a nice way to like, you know, share the love around, I guess. Oh, the spell doesn't have a doesn't have a shadow. That's why it looks weird. Okay. Ah, this song is great. If you like the music, it is made by our good friend Droopy, who is an awesome dude and just makes the most ridiculously amazing music out there. I need to make that transition to white a little bit smoother and the transition back in. So we need to do a couple of frames of that. Shadow Fungi, what's up, buddy? How are you today? Welcome. You got the beat drop perfect? Well done. What's up, Sarchini? How you doing? That's difficult to do with the delay. I struggle and I'm hearing it live. All right, let's see Ermelburn's success. The mods in the broadcast get a nice Raider prompt next to your name for the next 15 minutes or so. Yeah, I mean it's just a nice way to show. It's just a nice way to like
wait for it.
The love around, I guess. Those monkeys better dance on beat. Oh, the spell doesn't have a doesn't have a shadow. That's why it looks weird. Okay. Well done. You can keep your job for another day. That's all I require of my mods, is that they get the dancing on beat. And if you can't be on beat, what are you doing in this industry? Could fire you if I wanted to. Hey. Let me feel like I have a little control over my own life, thank you very much. Just a smidge. I don't need much. At least let me feel a little bit like I'm in control of my own destiny. Spirit doesn't need to be crushed every day. Drop the opacity on those as it transitions out. And here. Where's that white coming from? Is that there? Oh, it's in there. White fader. Where's this background? When you lose track of all of your layers. There we go. So we have a couple of frames of that, and then we got to start bringing it back in here. All right, let's see how that feels. Walk in, fade, fade. Okay, that feels better with the fade. Cool, that's a little less jarring, still a bit bright, but I mean, there's not much I can do about it. When you flash the screen to white, it's just bright. Well, getting set up to work on music composition practice. Ooh, music composition. Nice. I wish I really would love to do music someday. I don't have the proper drive for it. Like, I like the idea, but I have none of the training. I'm kind of tone deaf, and the amount of work I would need to actually put in to get good at it, I don't think I have the patience for, so I haven't really attempted it. The concept of just like making something just like, oh yeah, seems super fun. So good luck. I hope it goes well. Comes to Twitch, you have no power. Hey, I have little bit of power. Little itty bitty little power. Unfortunate spare time I have at the moment. Kind of stuck to projects I want to complete. Oh no, unfortunate spare time. That is a term being heard all too much right now. I apologize for that, and I hope the unwanted, well, I guess not unwanted, the unfortunate spare time ends quickly. Go ahead and do Devil Zero, and all your free time will probably be spent making rogue dice and working on Devil. Hell yeah, I'm in. I like that game. I want to do stuff with that game, but I don't. What I did learn is I don't want to program that game. I learned that very fast. I have a partially working prototype of a partially working remake of a prototype, and oh, it's so bad. I don't even know where it is right now. It's so bad. All right, I think we got a good amount of stuff done on this. You get your physic, you get your health. All right, save. Everybody save. And I have to pee. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Give me 1 sec. Put a couple every few days. Everything from reading sheet music. Ooh. Very nice. I do not know how to read music in the slightest. I played bass for a couple of years in high school for a shitty punk rock band, which means that I don't know how to actually play music, but I had fun. Got a few leads for a quiet on John Troy. Dude, it's crazy out there. Lady Lark's looking right now, too. Because we're moving at the moment. Sorry, I can't run ads right now. Oh, it's all good. No worries. We'll just leave it. It's not enough people for it to matter today anyway. I'll be right back. Thank you. We back. And the AFK Ginger won the Battle Royale? You guys suck. Ugh. Losers. Alright. I still don't know if I love this kind of like design for the tree. The problem is I'm working with the NES palette, so I also don't have all the colors. And one of the biggest issues with Elden Ring is all of the colors are this like gold, red, gold, yellow, brown, gold, 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 more gold, a little bit of gold, unalloyed gold, a little bit more gold, and lots of golds. And the color palette does not have that much range. So I think I'm going to make the tree purple to just give some differentiator between like the character and stuff. Because yeah, it gets a little bit like too goldy. When I was working on the characters, like trying to find like the different levels of like gold for all of them was difficult. Antable, what's up, buddy? How's it going? So these are characters I was working on as well. There's got to be a better way to animate. Aseprite, this kind of Aseprite animating, I feel like is not the way to do this. There's got to be better ways to animate, right? Like, I could use Animate itself. Which is an Adobe product, which is it's the modern evolution of Flash. I don't think that's going to give me the effect I want, though. I think this is the effect I want. It just sucks. Because this many frames animating in Aseprite is kind of annoying. No sitting allowed. Hey, Hippo's job is to come here and take a seat. Hippo paid for that seat. That is Hippo's thing. Hippo comes here, gets on the toilet, and watches the show. And then the mods murder them. Aren't hippos protected? How dare you? You monsters. I just had a little brain fart there. Forgot what I was doing. Who's Nova? Who's Lightjack cheating on me with? How dare you? So hurt. So hurt. Oh, we're just gonna have Switch support too? That's sick as hell. Funnily enough, I just hooked up my Switch to over here in my setup. I just set up the Switch over here. It's hooked up to this TV. That's sick, though. Congrats. Oh, Nora. Nora tries. Who dat? Oh, very cool. PC build. That looks like fun. Nice. I'm sure Lightjack will be very helpful there. The way Lightjack is helpful here. Like, hey, moron, don't do that. Hey. Stop. Stop. You're smarter than this. And I'm like, no, I'm not. All right. I think that's the bulk of like at least the breakout I want to do now. So I guess let's go play with these trees, which means we're gonna have to adjust the setup a little bit because I'm gonna need to move my my tablet down. Here, I'll show you guys the change that has to happen. Pardon my drink. So we got to get this stuff out of the way. Let's bring you forward. Get you stuck on. Let's take the stops out of it, because I like to make it lean up a little higher when I'm using it just as a plain monitor. And get my glove. And then we're going to move that down here. So that means we're going to want to change your view to the XP pen. And we golden. Alright, we're going to be working on the door branches layer. So to work with the Switch with an adapter, but only $20. I mean, that's Nintendo for you. Nintendo loves its adapters. Nintendo loves its adapters. And to be fair, any of those ones are probably going to work with it, or going to, like, try to modify with it. Is it because... Is it... Does the Switch not have, like... Are you normally set up to do it with, like, Bluetooth, though? Doesn't the Switch have Bluetooth? Or was that the thing? Does the Switch not have Bluetooth? I feel like the Switch had some issue with not having, like, a standard feature like that. It does now. It was locked with firmware. Ah, gotcha. What's up, YT boy? How you doing? Welcome. All right, let's see. Let's get on the appropriate layer. I'm just going to go ahead and lock the rest of these so I don't do something stupid, which I am good at. Oh, whoops. I keep pressing the top. Like, why do they all unlock? Because I pressed the top full lock one. Let's see. The door is that. And we're working on the branches. Okay, so we're going to lock the rest. Just work on branches so we can't screw it up. Let's dig in. And, oh, this extra light I have is kind of annoying on my desk right now. Usually look for music feedback under this tag? Wait, under which tag? Yeah, so, oh, here, if you haven't seen what we're working on. So, basically... Oh, I shifted that whole thing, too, like a moron. So, basically, what we are working on is just a fun little animation for... Why are you down here? God damn it, Aseprite. Pissing me off. Damn it, placement. All right. We're blocking out basically a little NES style if Elden Ring came out on the NES and was Final Fantasy inspired. So the character will walk up. They will take their flask, drink some Estus, walk into the fog gates, and be in the Radagon boss fight. And then like a little Radagon message is going to pop up, and then I'm going to make it look like it's a little bit, Final Fantasy EE. But that's where it's currently at, and at the moment, I need to make this whole hallway look like... Did I save the scene? I didn't, did I? No. Basically make it look like the final walk-up of the final boss fight in Elden Ring, because I played way too much Elden Ring. Only forgot to change the tag each day. Oh yeah, I did not change my tags today, actually. I forgot about that. You're right. Let Jax cheat on with Nora. Do I mind if I cheat on you with Chicken Man once it goes live? No, you're good. Cheat away. It's only cheating if I'm not told about it. Accessibility requires third party because Nintendo is unreachable. Yep. That sounds about right. Nintendo's pain in the ass, yeah. See new things involving different styles for people doing art and conventions. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, normally, so my typical thing on the internet for the last several years has been making video games. Specifically small game projects like game jams and whatnot. But over the last... What is the way to... make a whole selection in here? I'm trying to remember. That's fine. But yeah, I'm trying to kind of move in a different direction a little bit now and have a little bit more fun. Just make a different shit. Let's go for a 5. Nope, not 45. Now we'll go for a 2-pixel brush.
Hey, idiot, look at chat.
No. Screw you. I'll look at chat when I'm ready to look at chat.
Hey, idiot, look at chat.
No. What song is this? Hang on. Xenoscape. It is, I think, Droopy's most recent song. I think it's Xenoscape. Yes, it is Xenoscape. Sorry, Marathos. I was just being a jerk to Ermelburn. I apologize. But we're gonna get some trees going here to hopefully make this look a little more cool. And not just like our characters walking up a straight up flat plane. We're just kind of blocking in some lighting shading here right now. Not being too obsessed with the shape and making sure that it's perfect right now. Because we will adjust that later as we refine. But I need to get the blocks in because it's just a giant section of... You know what I should do? Let's also do this. View, give me the preview. You sit pretty like this. Out of the way, and you can just play in the background. Gotta set up the preview so that other people know what you're actually making, and it does look kind of cool. Otherwise, people see you just drawing pixels, and nobody cares. I'm a slave to the viewers. That's what you gotta do, right? All the viewer things. Make yourself look pretty and presentable. If you ain't cute, they're not coming. We need a current song command? Yeah, we should. Although I actually have a way now to just throw in like one of the Spotify functions on the Stream Deck, because I can literally push this button and then just straight up paste the info into chat. So I can always just do that. I actually have a button now on my Stream Deck that just lets me copy the song info into my clipboard, which is kind of cool. But I don't know how to automate that so that VimlarkBot says it yet. Because that seems like work. And you guys know I don't work. Working's too much work. I am against working. Except when I'm at actual work, in which case I work as much as I'm paid. It's funny for the guy who worked until he burned out. I mean, that's because I was trying to survive. Yeah. The YouTube content creation life and all that, sucks. Unless you're huge and making a shit ton of money, yeah, that grind is brutal. And, yeah, that fried me. That fried me a lot. But it's also got me at the state now where I'm like, you know what? I want to keep, like, there was a lot of parts of it that were fun. And I want to go find those fun parts again and just do them without needing to care or worry about needing, like it's really nice to be able to make content and not worry that if people don't like it, you're not going to be able to eat or have a place to live. Right? Like that's kind of there's a big difference. It's like, I made a YouTube video. Okay, cool. People liked it. Awesome. It's not, oh, I made a YouTube video. Awesome. It's like, oh, people liked it. Cool. I can eat this month. And living on that kind of flow, oof, it's not fun. It's not fun. Yeah, it was not fun. So what we're doing here with the lighting too is we're shifting the lighting to, you'll see that the lighting on the left has the highlights going on the right, and this side over here has the highlights coming in the middle, because the light source in this scene is coming from that door and shining outward at us. Wait. Gorilla 6, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Oh, and James, how you doing, buddy? So after you life changed this way, focus more on the fun part. Yeah, honestly, like, it wasn't just that kind of broke. Like, I broke from a lot of things. Like, Lady Lark and I were having trouble, like, communicating. Like, we were both growing into new people, but still thinking of each other as the people from, like, 5-10 years ago. And yeah, it took kind of that big, like, break kind of down of everything to kind of start rebuilding back up. And I'm happy, like, I feel like we're coming out of it on a good side, and I'm really excited about what we're gonna do now. White Ball, what's up, buddy? You animating this frame by frame? I mean, kind of. Like, I'm not drawing, like, I'm, yes, I guess. I guess so. By the way, if you guys want to see amazing pixel artwork and animations and all in games and all the rest, check out Whitefall. The dude is ridiculous. Has a game out right now, just came out called, The Adventures of Captain Carrot. No big deal. It's like playing a 1990s cartoon if you're of that persuasion, like the rest of us. Griffin, I learned the hard way. Love life, can be difficult. Oh, dude, it's been amazing. The thing is, you gotta remember too, Lady Lark and I have been together, I think this year is our 17th wedding anniversary. No, 15th wedding anniversary, and we've been together for about 17 years. So after that amount of time, you kind of just fall into this routine, especially when you raise a child and all of that kind of stuff. So it's kind of nice that now, like, our kid's older, she's becoming a person, and we're kind of rediscovering, like, us as people that are not just, like, parents of a young child, which is really nice. 17 years? Yeah. Aren't you 25? You're sweet. Aww. Make me a diabetic with all that sugar. No, not even close. Add about 12 years to that, and it'll be add 13 in 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm a bit older than that, just a smidge, by, like, a whole decade or so. Yeah, I have a 16-year-old child. She will be 17 in September. It's a lot of years. Currently 5.5 years. Been together since you were 16. A lot of growth. I mean, there's a big difference too, right? You guys have been together since you were in high school, in, like, those ages, and you change a lot between the ages of, like, 16 to, like, even 25, right? So we had a weirder stage of, unfortunately, we ended up, I had a child really young. So we met when I was, like, 19. At 21, we had a child. So, like, I kind of went from, like, trying to figure out who I was, like, in, like, that early 20 stage to, like, I have to be a dad now and keep another human alive. So I've had a really hard time this last year just, like, understanding even who I am and want to be, because I never got to do that before I basically played the role of a dad for the last 15 years. So there was a lot of, like, identity issues of just, like, who am I? What am I doing? What do I even like? What am I? And yeah, that's been an interesting challenge to go through, of just kind of, like, figuring that kind of stuff out too. So on top of, it's already difficult enough for two people to communicate in the best of circumstances, and then, having one person, especially, like, this is just like, I don't even know who I am. That doesn't help. So luckily after lots of work, and it takes work. It takes a lot of work. I mean, we've put in that work for a long time. You're a dad, dad eat, dad draw, dad lark. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you literally do kind of have to play a part for a while, especially if you're not that kind of person. So like every school function, I was 10 years younger than the next youngest dad, and you have to go and do the oh, the dad's group's all over there, go hang out with them, and just, oh my god, dude. And the PTA are just we ended up doing the PTA thing because that's the things you're supposed to do and all that. And the PTA are the drunkest bunch of motherfuckers. Ugh. I hated them so much. It was torture. It's a bunch of drunk assholes that were, and then and then they'd get in the car with their kids. Like, you fucking people, dude. It was gross. Really gross. So I basically didn't fit in well, if you know what I mean. Because I didn't put up with a lot of that crap. I hated it so much, and I was glad when we stopped doing it. I'm not that kind of dad, apparently. I'm not the like, oh yeah, let's go do all that stuff. Nah. But I have a child that doesn't say she hates us every day. She tells us things. She keeps us informed and comes to us with problems. So I call that a win, honestly. Like, like having a 16-year-old that still talks to you and like wants to hang out at home and like is like, can we do stuff? That's kind of a win. I've been asking other dads, how's the lawn today? Oh, God. Well, that's the other thing, right? So, like, I'd sit down with a bunch of dads, and they'd just be talking about home ownership shit, right? They're like, oh, yeah, we just bought this house, or we're doing this because we own this, and we can do this, and blah, 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 and just talking about home ownership stuff. Like, literally, they would spend hours just talking about home ownership stuff, and I'm like, I rent because I'm from a generation that will never be able to afford homes because your generation fucked it for the rest of us. Yeah, that didn't go well, so I just kept quiet. What more could you wish for? A 6-year-old is still talking. Yeah, 6-year-old that is doing decent school. She's having a little harder time in school right now because there's a lot of shit going on, especially with our move and all that. But decent school, got honor roll this year. Works a job and has been doing well at that. Like, got it like employee of the month, like her first month working ever. We got a good kid. Like, I cannot complain. And that's not something that, happens lightly. But we're now at the age where she's old enough that she doesn't need that kind of parent anymore. Now she needs the type of parent that are going to prepare her for actually, living and surviving in the world. So that kind of like, the parenting of a young child is a very different thing. And now that is not really the necessity anymore. So we can kind of become our own people, which we don't know what that is yet, right? I mean, it's kind of a big deal. Like, there's a big crisis when kids hit a certain age. It's the same reason why, like, you look at, like, divorce rates go up when people hit, like, it's like the first year of marriage, the 10-year and the 15-year are kind of like the big monster years of when people kind of hit milestones and you've either grown together or you haven't, and that's kind of the those points. So it's an interesting long periods of time people change, and if you don't change together or at least work on it, then that's where difficulties happen. So I am pleased that I feel like we are going in a direction currently where, like, all the change I'm excited about, especially with, like, moving, getting a better place, actually enjoying the space that we have. I'm really excited to have, like, a space to be able to do more than just work on a computer. Because that's one thing that's kind of been killing me, is, like, I've only had the space to work on a computer for the last several years. So, like, anything I wanted to do had to be done on a screen, which had me sitting here just forever. And I would like to be able to, do different things. Why couldn't I have had you as a parent instead? I got taught nothing. I mean, it's luck of the draw kind of shit, right? Like, that's how that goes. And here's the thing. I'm not a perfect parent. I have a lot of my own issues. I instilled a lot of trauma myself because I had, for a very long time, anger issues, regret issues, frustrations, and just general massive anxiety about everything. So I wasn't great, you know, like I can't say that I was definitely not like a perfect parent or anything. Yes, I was also very young, but like, no, I wasn't like, but it's just, it's life's kind of a shit show sometimes, and it's the luck of the draw. Yeah. Yeah, no such thing as a perfect parent. I just hope for I just wish people had people that weren't assholes.
Oh my gosh, you're doing work.
I'm doing stuff.
Wow.
I'm making things.
Wow, look at
I'm
you.
making things. Look at me. I'm being productive. I'm a productive member of society making something that's useless to society.
You're inspiring others. That's useful to society.
Yes, dear.
I'm going to go to the bond. I'm going to try to figure out where I might like
Pizza sounded good.
check out.
Yes, let's do that.
So, okay. Is there anything you need?
No. Maybe. Surprise me. Will you get me just a dessert treat, the Reese's, like the sticks? Thank you. Let's get myself a little treat after dinner and then be good. Rare Breed, how's it going? So perfect parent, it's a constant learning experience. Dude, that's just no shit. God, if all the parenting books are full of crap, because every kid's different. You'll never be able to do it right. You just do your best. Always look on the bright side of life. I mean, dude, the thing is like, it's really easy to say that, but it's also so easy to fall into the patterns of just never being able to see that as an actual option. Like, it's way easier to fall on the, like, only seeing the dark side of life than it is to see like, you have to focus hard to see the bright side sometimes. And unfortunately, especially if you have, like, you know, ADHD, anxiety, any of those kinds of symptoms that like causes your brain to loop, you can get caught in negative feedback loops, right? Like, you just get a bad idea and it just focuses, and that becomes everything you can think about, and it'll like really wreck you. I mean, that's what I've basically that's what I was in for the last year and a half. Just this constant stasis of negative feedback where, like, even a positive thing, I can immediately turn into a negative thing and feel bad about. It's a hard thing to push through. I'm definitely not there. I still break. I still have days where I'm feeling super shitty for no reason. Well, it's a reason to me, but, like, you know, to the average person, be like, why are you're an idiot? That's how it goes. I have 4 children who spend every day learning how to be a better parent. One of the things this period taught me was that when you became one yourself. Holy crap, you have 4? Best of luck. I knew one was a lot. And I struggled with 1. Raising 4, hats off. That is a lot of work. And I best of luck for how they all grow, and I hope you get sleep. At least hopefully they get old enough to the point where you can be sleeping if they aren't there yet. Yeah, I have friends that have a couple. I'm just like, man, I feel like I did a satisfactory job with 1. I think if I had more than 1, though, I don't know if I would have been able to stay any kind of, like, sane. I really don't know. That's a lot. My hat's off. 4 under the age of 13. Oh. I'm anxious for you. So, also for a little bit of context, so I used to be funnily enough, I know I look like this now, but I used to be a preschool photographer. And a good one, actually. I was our top-rated preschool photographer for a while, where I went around and worked with young children, basically. At the time, I had a toddler, so I was really accustomed to working with young kids. And, man, wrangling groups of children, even 4, it's effort. It's effort, to say the least. Wish you have one more. No idea why. We no longer have kiddos. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Are you just going for, like, is 5 feel like a better number for you? You're not, like, even? You got to get a little odd? That way you have a little bit of balance? Yeah, we also are in that situation where even after our 1, we can't. We are unable to have more, and that was. Lady Lark didn't like that for a while, though. I will say she had a hard time with that too. I was like, yay. Because children are tiring. All right, I want you to kind of go back. Let's build some depth into this a little bit, maybe. So right now, it doesn't feel like there's any depth in these trees. Let's try and get off some of these hard jaggies. This is the one thing that I've really loved about having the tablet, is just to be able to kind of like get in and play like this, like just to be able to kind of just play around and just be like, you can just kind of like sketch and scribble. It's so nice. I like it so much. I never had a tablet with a screen on it before, and it's changed so much. I really, really enjoy it. It's actually pretty good for taking notes too. Although I'm going to need to get in here with some better lighting examples in a bit here. I'm just trying to get some shape to this. What am I drawing? We're making an Elden Ring animation. Look right above me. This is the kind of... I'm in the block out stage right now, so I just got most of the, like, animation, like, contents in, I think. And I'm currently working on this is the section of Elden Ring where you're walking up to the final boss, and you are walking down through the tree. So we are currently adding in, like, the tree roots and the tree parts around right now. That is the current goal, at least. We'll see how it comes out. But I'm just trying to play around with some ideas here to kind of build that out. It should be a lot more yellow and orangey, but unfortunately in the NES color palette, the yellow and orange are kind of not a lot. As you can see on the left there's only a handful of them. So I'm kind of tweaking the Erdtree stuff to be a little bit more purple. Like I did that with like Radagon's tunic and stuff too, kind of add a little bit more purple to them to kind of help separate and give some contrast. Tablets are seen so much better. Dude, it's so nice. Elden Ring, only 2 are biological. Father and mother is a title earned by them. Young to people who care for the respect. It's not a title shown or given. Lucky enough I call 4 of them my bonus dad. Oh, that's awesome. So can't have any biological, it's hard, but I hope one day to get experience with young children. Yeah, no. I mean, it's an interesting thing, right? Because that's all a personal side. Because, like, I'll be real. I never wanted to have children. So I kind of had one and, you know, learned to love the process. I love my daughter and all that kind of stuff. But, like, that wasn't, like, a choice I, like, actively went after. So it's interesting to see from, like, the other perspective, right? Because you can only hear it from your own self and, like, your own, like, way that you went through it. But, yeah, it's kind of that complete opposite when people are like, oh, I'm really trying. I'm like, wow, people try? And it's just only because you can only ever see anything from your own perspective, right? Like, you can never see anything other ways. It's like, I know, there's another content creator that does Unity work, Jason Wyman. I believe they have something like 6 or 7 children because they foster as well. So, and then they've adopted several of the children they fostered because I think, which is really cool. So, you know, the people that have the ability to do that is amazing. I just know that I do not have like the temperament or the, I'm not the type of person to do that. I would not be a fit in those kinds of situations at all. So they don't have the parts to. I mean, that's the other aspect of it too, right? Like, guess if people want things, I'm just like, I'm over here going like, I'm all good. I would like to just now have the rest of my life child-free. I mean, not child-free. Like, I'm still gonna have a child and all that, but like, there's a certain point when they, you know, once they hit like 18 and stuff, you're no longer like responsible for like every aspect of their life and stuff. And you know, by that point, you should have them, honestly, you know, able to at least do some things for themselves. So, like, I don't even care if she's still living at home. Like, I'm not kicking. It's not like she has to be out of the house or anything. But at a certain point, it's like, all right, cool. You are now an adult. I will treat you like an adult, and I can go about my adult life too, which I am excited about. That'll be neat. It's been a while. Actually, I don't think I've never really had that, because honestly, when I had her, I wasn't an adult. I wasn't even close to being an adult at that time. I mean, I was 21. I knew nothing. I was a fool. Was a fool, a newborn babe in the world with his own babe. Alright, let's get some branches up. Let's fill in all that space. Dire Prism, what's up, buddy? How's it going? How have you been? Hope things are going well. Alright, let's give ourselves a bit of a bigger brush now. And I do normally in pixel art like working with square brushes, but I like a round brush for the fill-in. Makes it a little bit nicer. A little bit nicer. Although I feel like I'm probably shrinking too far down in the camera when I draw like this. It's the only thing is it pulls my eye like way away from the camera. Which, as someone who does like, you know, did like photography and film and all that kind of stuff, is generally a no-no. But I'm definitely not the type of person to work up high. If you look at like Shiny Seabass, is another pixel artist here on Twitch. He's got his like right up here, so he kind of is always looking straight while he works. But like, I've never been able to draw up. Like, I've never liked easels. I don't like drawing with my arm this high. Drove to look at a tulip field, pretty much for today. I mean, that sounds like a hell of a nice day. What'd you do today? Looked at tulips. That's all you had to do? Yeah. Enjoy that chill. Like, that's what you gotta do in a day? Enjoy that day. That sounds like a nice day. How was the drive? That was one of the trippiest things when Lady Lark and I took our road trip and we just like had nothing really to do specifically. And it was just like, oh, what do we do now? We don't have, oh, what do we do? We didn't know how to not have things to do. And yeah, that kind of showed that we had a bit of a problem there. In today's society, we do not know how to slow down. That's for sure. Fairly Unveiled not complaining. I mean, sounds like a nice time. I bet the tulips were beautiful, especially this time of year. There's a spot down close to San Diego called Carlsbad that has an area where when you drive by every time, they just have like fields of like tulips and stuff that are just gorgeous. I don't specifically know where it is down there. Forgot to turn off the bling. But they are beautiful. So pretty, very pretty. Wonderful night, good stream. See you, Marathos. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. I hope you have a great one. We will talk to you later. Yeah, I want to try and match the ones on the other side. So let's get ourselves a bit more of a chonker. Pull some shit out here. cut some chunks out of this bad boy. And then we're going to add other branches behind. Just trying to get some dimension and depth into here a bit. And these should all connect like that. Seems fairly alright. Alright, let's get in with some shadows and highlights here. The shadow side first. Get some of that wiggle on it. Oh, son of a bitch. I hit the stupid button on the pen. Does anybody actually use the buttons on the pen? Why do they still put those on? I hate them. I usually try to tear them off my pen, but this one, it doesn't tear off well, so I think I'm going to make a cover for it so I don't hit it all the time, because I find it annoying. It's another big thing I'm trying to do is, like, figure out ways to make my life more enjoyable and efficient, and just to remove little annoyances in my life that aren't that important, but they just make things a little bit nicer. Like the caps lock key. I got rid of my caps lock key. I don't have a caps lock key on my computer anymore, and my life has literally been happier because of it. I no longer accidentally hit caps lock anymore at all. And it's awesome. Carlsbad's awesome, don't come here. I haven't been there in a while. We used to have relatives that lived down there. That was the only reason we ever went there. I went there for work a couple of times. But yeah, I normally don't go down to Carlsbad. I don't spend a lot of time down south, to be honest with you, in general. Nearby, like near San Diego at all. It's a very rare time when I'm down there. Very rare. Why would you remove what? Too many tourists. That's what happens when you live in a pretty part. I mean, I've always lived up by like Disneyland, so yeah, it's just kind of a thing. And then I also like all the places I've lived. Like I've lived near Disneyland, and I've lived in like San Francisco, so there's usually tourists everywhere. Just get some dimension in these things. Trees are kind of fun because you can just kind of scribble, and it's really satisfying. You don't have to like follow too many proper shapes. You can just kind of play with it because it's nature, and nature doesn't do things properly all the time. Well, it does things properly, but it doesn't do things like, you know, in straight lines and in order, which makes it more fun because you can kind of scribble and not have to think too hard, because sometimes thinking hard sucks. Oh, caps lock joke fell flat. I'm sorry. I literally, yeah. No, I get it now. I think because of Twitch, I've also stopped noticing when people type in all caps lock. Like, I think I've genuinely stopped noticing when messages come in all caps lock because they always do. Like, it's super regular. Yeah, totally flip flat. I'm sorry. I no-sold that. Probably the hardest I've ever no-sold anything in my life. I apologize. That went over my head so hard. What theme is this? This theme is called Dace. Or Das. Is it themes? No. There you go. It's that second link right there. If you'd like to check it out. It's a good one. I enjoy it. Alrighty. Let's get some of those shadows in. Dogs save intelligence is easier to manage. That's the thing, right? Like, yeah, I mean, if you're just in the mood for, like, you want a companion, dogs are great. Do that. Children are long. They take a lot. They're exhausting. What, dear? Adulting is exhausting? Okay, Lady Lark says adulting is also exhausting, so I guess we're screwed either way. Alright, this is just kind of the shadow of where it's going to be touching the ground, which we'll refine up, of course, but I just want to kind of block in a lot of these things. I'm also trying to work in a less, I used to have to, like, finalize every little piece as I went along, which took forever. So I'm trying to now work in, like, chunks and blocks on things to hopefully not have me fry out on stuff like I used to. And get mad that it's not, like, perfect immediately. Allow shit to come together properly. God damn it.
As Larissa says, perfection is the death of creativity.
Lady Lark says one of her friends' quotes is, "Perfection is the death of creativity." Fair, but if it's not perfect, have I really shown my creativity? Let me philosophically be an asshole for a second. If it's not perfect, am I really worth it? Say Lady Lark. Oh yeah, no, Lady Lark. Lady Lark is the lady of the house and commander of me and my heart. May my heart, but you can't. Oh, you can't command me because I'm very stubborn. I mean, that is true. She tries. She tries to wrangle me. I am quite the pain in the ass, though. That is true. I'm one of those kind of like people that tries to learn everything and then really hates it when other people give wrong information. And it irritates me when people are dumb. Lots of people... Look, Lady Lark just said everybody's dumb sometimes. But to be fair, lots of people are dumb all the times without ever trying to fix it. And that's where I get offended. It bothers me that people don't want to learn or be better. Got the shadow here. Alright, we're plugging along. You command me? You command me to what? Yep. Commands are nothing. I mean, a command doesn't... You have to... It's not a command. Just words. I command pigeons. I mean, that makes more sense. And if you command pigeons, that's awesome. I guess you just need food. And city pigeons. City pigeons are hard as shit, by the way. In San Francisco, there were some hard-ass pigeons that were just like, literally, you would have to get out of their way as they walk down the street. I miss the city. It's been a while. Well, we were just up there, but it's been a while since I've lived there. And I don't classify LA as a city because you can't get anywhere without a fucking car. I hate that place. LA is the worst. I command you to. That's a really long command. I don't have the attention span for your command. God damn it. How dare you turn on the pins? Fine, you hang there. Okay, you found a way to command me, I get it. The loophole in the system, the command that I have already set up and established. That I didn't realize was on. You win this round. Well played. Alright, how are you? The one issue with the drawing tablet that I have is if I like move my mouse over to like another window and then I start drawing, the mouse automatically comes back to, you know, the point of the pen. But then if I use the mouse again, the mouse jumps back to where I left it last, and I never remember where that is. I'm sure there's a setting that probably changes that, but I don't know what it is currently. And I haven't thought about it enough to go looking until just now. You know what else you do? I'm going to guess you're going to turn on the hydrates and run a hydrate sound. That's my guess. Was I accurate? Have I foretold the future? Fucking called it! Just call me Vimstradamus, thank you very much. Alright, so now, what happens if we just take this, at the very least, and put it through here? Let's throw a bunch of these together, and we're going to throw it across all these frames. Where does it cut out? Okay, so we still got plenty of time. Now it looks a bit more like where we want it to go, where we want the player to be, right? Which is, oh, I think I already went in. I went over the. Yep. Did I really not go far enough? I still didn't go far enough? Guess not. Okay, we're going out to here for now. I'm gonna update them still. I like to see what it looks like. Ooh, okay. That feels better now. So let's, if we look at it big. Sorry, I'm looking at the left one at the moment. Now walks into the trees. I need to fix them up, obviously, but like, it feels nice. It feels like you're walking into a more confined space. Cool. I like it. So streamers don't always like it, but do you have any Discord I could perhaps get feedback on your path or any path of pixel art? I don't really. We do have a Discord. I don't have a whole lot on. I've been really bad about like focusing on stuff. If you got something you'd like to share right now, I can definitely take a look at it. I mean, honestly, Sundays are probably the chillest days to ask for stuff like that because I'm just hanging out. So. Yeah, if you got something, you can click my name, click Whisper, take a look at it. When we're chilling on Sundays, those are the best days to look at like art stuff. On Saturdays, if you have like bigger projects and things like games and whatnot, generally on Saturdays or every other Saturday at least moving forward, we do like playtesting and stuff. But for the current moment, yeah, I'm chilling. It's a quiet day. Sundays are dead, especially when they're really dead. Well, I don't have the door through it, then the whole thing yet either. That's what I got. Okay. I forgot I ran a command in chat 5 seconds ago. So another message chat. Wait. What did I do? I just forget things. You guys are mean to me. Also, since it's kind of dead today, we're probably going to end a bit early. Today, I'll probably duck out around 3 o'clock in about a half an hour. We may just cut it short for today because it's dead and I can just go do other things. Just go get higher earlier. Till the person said a whisper, you forgot that you just ran the Discord command, so you already had recent message in chat. Not according to... Oh. Oh, because I put the heart in too? Because I had that and then that? Meh. I make all that animation? The one that's playing? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what we're working on right now. Yep, I made it all. I started by playing around with just Elden Ring character sprites. I was making these for fun. For no reason other than it was fun. And I didn't know what I was going to do with them. And then I kind of made this animation, which was just kind of like a Radagon stasis thing. And I thought that was kind of cool. So then I decided to be stupid and make a really big and annoying animation because, you know, that's how I am. Or do I have that off? There we go. So that'll look better over here with those on again. Forgot about that. Yes, now you walk up. Although since this is supposed to be for an NES, you wouldn't get overlays like that. So I might need to put something. I might need to put a big black bar up at the top of the screen. Wait, Tricky Man? Yeah, if he's on, yeah. New time, obviously. Learn stuff. Watch 1 week hobby art. Yeah, no problem. Like I said, I've been really bad about like giving feedback and stuff on the Discord. I'll be perfectly honest, the Discord is kind of like stagnant and dead, and I don't really know what to do with it at the moment, honestly. I kind of feel like Discord communities in general are mostly dead, especially for like particular creators and stuff. Although I guess I'm not the type of creator that's a super like online chatty kind of person. It's just not who I am. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with the Discord server. What are you guys currently doing on? Are you in any Discord servers that you pay attention to? Because I'm not anymore. Like I don't even know what people are using Discord for really, other than like I use it to specifically talk to like specific friends now most of the time. Is anybody else using Discord for like any? I don't. I feel like it's getting kind of flushed. Lightjack just misses Doubtfired so hard. He just showed up at our table wearing a dress and dentures. No, Lightjack, this is the table where you're supposed to be giving me a TV pitch. Not out to dinner with your family who you are a secret housekeeper for. Pretty heavy, you don't pay attention. Yeah, Discord. Yeah, I kind of feel that. Specific people, so you actually get notifications because YouTube refuses to give it to them. Ah, that'll do it.
Shut up and take my money.
Vim, you should know Curdle is live. I told you, I'm cheating on your stream with his.
Oh, I knew you said you were gonna. I didn't know he was live yet. I just didn't know he was live yet. I wasn't sure if he was going live soon. Curdle has weird ass hours. I usually associate Curdle with being streaming at nighttime for me. So it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. I don't normally expect Turtle to be on. Turtle? Curdle. You're currently cheating on Curdle with me? Haha, that makes me the side bitch. Mm-hmm. Now you know how we Europeans feel? Oh, no, I mean, trust me, here's the thing. Being on the West Coast sucks even more, too, because my only options to stream to get a larger audience outside of the US, I have to stream during US business hours. Because I'm on the West Coast, when I start at noon, that's like 8 p.m. in Europe. Which means, like, if I wanted to hit you guys earlier in the day, I would have to be streaming at, like, 2 a.m. my time. So I have this really shitty one. Like, I'm a late night person, so I can't stream late. I would prefer to stream, like, later at night, but I can't do that because I have, like, no audience at that time, because the majority of my audience, weirdly, is in Europe. Yeah, so it really makes it like I have to stream early, which is why I had to switch to weekends over weekdays for streaming, because, yeah, I'm at work now during the week. Jotson, what's up, buddy? For those of you that do not know, Jotson's another game dev here on YouTube or here on Twitch. Jesus Christ, also does YouTube stuff a little bit, and it's been a while. I'm trying to type and do shit at the same time. It's not working today. Thank you for the shout out. I was trying to do that and failing horribly. John works in Godot and made a super awesome game called Gravity Ace, and is now making other stuff. And John, you're also mentoring for the Linux Game Jam right now too, right? We're devs, we don't sleep. I'm trying to sleep now. I'm trying to not do that anymore. We're the majority audience. I'd honestly say a majority of my audience is European. To be real, think of how much I shit on the US, how much I fucking do not adhere to any US values and shit like that. So, yeah, probably. I mean, really, I don't put much stock in worrying about the US, to be real. I do have an audience from the US, but, like, it's, yeah. Makes it sound like every other American you met. What, that I dislike America? That means that you're meeting the types of Americans that are actively trying to not be American. Trust me, when I go out, I meet the types of Americans that are like pew pew yay yay, murder the kids because we get our guns kind of people. Fucking hate it. It's time for you right now. The time for me currently is 2:39 p.m. Here. 2:39 and 45, 6, 47, 48, 49, 50. So in 10 seconds, it'll be 2:40. It's 10:40. Yeah. It's bright out. It's sunny. I'm middle of the day for me. It's just, it's the weirdness of it all, right? Kobe Kane, how's it going? Depends on what state and what class. Depends on the people you meet. Yeah. Well, I'm in California, but unfortunately, I am in one of the more right-wing parts of California. Which, if you look at me, I'm not even left-wing. I passed that. Like, I'm not on the left because both of the parties are shit in this country. So yeah, I don't fit in well with a lot of the like people. We live very close to like richer cities. Like, I'm not in them, but there's a couple of like cities that are very like really wealthy, and those people suck. Frozen Well, what's up, buddy? How are you today? Cali's just scuffed. I mean, to be real, we're doing a lot more than a lot of the other states in California. To be real, like, a lot of the states are, I mean, you say California's scuffed, but I mean, that's in comparison. Look at fucking Florida or Texas. Those places are trying to start genocides and murder their own people. In Florida, they are taking children away from parents. They are literally taking, if the parents or the child is trans, they are taking the children away from the parents. They also just passed a thing that if you try to flee the state to avoid having your child taken away, they will take away your child. So, yeah, I mean, you can bitch about California all you want, but that's fucked up. They're all shit. This country's going to hell in a handbasket real fast. I just want people to leave everyone the fuck alone. With a little nonsense. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know. It's gonna move to Mexico at this point. The problem is there's a lot of problems there too. They're not quite the most stable places either at the moment, honestly. I mean, we're basically in the world of we're hitting the point where this is what happens with ruling classes, right? It's happened with monarchies. It's happened with all the different like ruling classes throughout history. They eventually get too much power. They become power hungry and stop caring about the people below them. The people below them say, fuck you. And they eventually get their shit kicked out of them and either claw themselves back up with a lot less abilities, or a new form sets in. Look at France right now. They're not fucking around. The French lead this shit usually. So, yeah, it's gonna be nuts. Why does Florida take away your children? If you give your child gender-affirming care. By the way, the specific wording is gender-affirming care, which also means cisgender-affirming care can be used as that too. So it basically gives them the ability to take any child away that they want. Targeted fascist government, you know, that's how that works. So much for a free country? No, that's called propaganda. That bullshit is called propaganda. The free country, all that's propaganda. If you go to Europe, you just avoid all of this. I mean, not everywhere. It's kicking up in a lot of places right now. Like shit's bad all over the place. Like the concept of over the top billionaires and corporations trying to control society is not a country problem anymore. It's a world problem. These billionaires are affecting multiple countries with money. It's not a single place issue right now. They're trying to make you think it is. Because if they make you think it is, then it's you just keep living in your perfect little happy world. The problems are over there away from you. You know, keep making me money. It's happening everywhere, and it will be fast. Bipartisan American white ring parties. Oh, yeah. Mr. Wuggy. What's up, Zero Guana? Oh, no, we're just, like... I was talking about why I mostly focus on a European audience, because a lot of Americans suck, and I don't care about trying to get an American audience, because the Americans that will not be douchebags will find me otherwise. But because of that, I need to gear the times when I'm live to Europe. Maybe playtesting on Saturday. Will you shake it up? Something else? I don't know. You're Brazilian? I've heard stuff going on. Brazil's really crazy right now too. Wait, is it Brazil? No, I'm sorry. It was Portugal. It was Portugal. We had a new guy that just started working with us. He was in Brazil. He's currently in Portugal. And I think he said Portugal is their inflation rate is 100% right now, which is insane. Have you ever traveled? Not much. I've been to Mexico a handful of times, and other than that, a couple of other states. It's really expensive, and I've never been able to afford traveling. Like, traveling out of when you live in the U.S., traveling out of the U.S., if it's not to Canada or Mexico, is massively expensive. Massively expensive. And I've never had the money to be able to do it. Having a child at 21 doesn't give you a lot of funds to go, like, you know, backpacking and sightseeing in Europe. I've just been trying to survive for the last 15 years. You're in Oregon? I was just, we just drove through Oregon. Oregon is one of the 2 states that doesn't let you pump your own gas, and I hate it. Oh, God. I did not like it at all. You're not allowed to pump your own gas there, so you have to walk up, hand your car to somebody. They just literally just open your gas tank and fill your car with gas. It's the same shit. It took longer than had I done it myself. Yeah, it was. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. What's up, Ronald Fields? By the way, how are you today? Oregon and New Jersey, you're not allowed to pump your own gas in the U.S. They're the only states. Super weird. Why can't you gas your car to need your license? I don't know. They from talking to one of the people, it's got to be supervised according to Oregon law. Because I was able to pump my own gas at one place. I pulled up to where there was no one there, and the first time we got there, and I didn't know, so I just got out and like got the handle, started putting it in, and like the lady came running out, and she's like, "Oh no, someone has to be here with us." She's like, "You can do it, but I just have to stand here, otherwise we get fined." So apparently it's some sort of health and safety thing. I guess she said it's something about like forest fires and whatnot, but to be honest with you, the place that we had someone filling up our car, dude, that guy was splashing gas fucking everywhere. He was just, oh, it was awful. Like, it's just like, I don't get it. In Brazil, you don't pump your own gas? It's so weird. It's so weird. I was also worried I was going to have to tip, but I saw nobody else tipping, so I was like, cool. Because I hate bullshit tipping culture like that for no reason. Sorry. Like... I was like, did you just make another thing that I'm going to have to pay somebody to do for, you know, that I could have easily done myself? Alright, I think that's all I want to work on the trees for right now. That's, we'll move to another piece. I need to keep jumping around, otherwise I get, like, too fixated and, like, perfection-y. Or every country has, as one says, okay, guys, let's go to the U.S. and let's go to Europe. Yeah, I mean, the U.S. sucks. Like, I mean, like, there's cool things here. It's just not great right now because of the food. I mean, Europe does have amazing food, but to be fair, there's a lot of places in the U.S. that has amazing food too. Like, as much as the South sucks in terms of like beliefs, politics, all that shit, there's some amazing fucking food down there. Yeah. You'd love to go to the U.S.? I mean, just don't get shot. We're going to end at 10? Well, in like 10. Yeah, something like that, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. Depends how much we're talking. If you guys keep me talking, you know what happens. Pump their gas in Brazil pretty, sure some people would fill and run. I mean, so...
Shut up and take my money.
Are things
Glad
here...
tipping barely exists in the UK, cause we actually pay our workers a living wage.
Agreed. 100%. Like, yeah, 100%. So, the pumps here, like, at least the pumps in California... You can't pump unless you've already paid. Like, it doesn't let you pay first. We were in Minnesota. Well, no, we were in fucking Wisconsin, in Iowa, I think. So Lady Lark grew up in a really small town in Minnesota when she was younger, and she has family in Iowa and stuff too. And we were in a small town there, and I went in and was like, you know, I got some like, you know, some waters and stuff, and walked up and was like, oh, and $30 on you know, $30 on that pump, on, you know, pump one or whatever. And they're like, oh, you pump first here. I'm like, what? Yeah, he's like, yeah, you pump first and then come in and pay on it. I was like, that still happens? Like, this was 2019. I was like, that still happens in the U.S.? He's like, yeah, where are you from? Like, California? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm sure they don't let you do that. I've never seen a place where you pump first. Never seen it. It's crazy. Here in the UK, you pump first, then pay. Really? Wow. That's so weird. Most of the time. See, I think there's a big thing too. Like, the way I think of people and the way I think of the world. Like, I'm very jaded in a lot of things in the way that I think about like people, functioning society and stuff. Because I grew up in a like massively like crazy metropolitan. Like, I grew up in a suburb of LA, but like a massively busy suburb. Like, our freeways here are, you know, 8 lanes wide. Like, I learned to drive on 8-lane wide freeways and stuff, right? Just because, with just non-stop masses of people always around. Like, there's so many people here. So, I don't know. Maybe I just growing up, like, in just always identity, not fully city living, but like, yeah, it's a weird world. In Alaska, you pump first? Interesting. Pump first, pay after. But for food, you pay then eat, then not eat and pay. Well, it depends where you go here. Like, anything quick service, you pay then eat, right? If you go to anything quick service, you pay then eat. If you go to something with like a waiter and like a sit-down place, you pay at the end because you can order things throughout the meal. So we have both. We have both for that. Not pumping first would seem weird to you? I mean, well, you just have to pay first, right? So there's two ways of doing it here, right? You either come up and you put your card in the machine and, you know, basically it says, okay, now you pump, and you just pump with whatever. So you basically, you just pay, you pump the same way the way you would, where you just take it up and pump, and you could choose when to stop. But it's already got your card information, so when you stop and return the nozzle, that's when it charges you for whatever amount you had. Or you can go in and prepay, where it's like, I'll go in and get like a snack or something and say I'd like $30 on pump 5, and then I go out and it stops immediately on $30. Weird. Is it true that America doesn't have many sidewalks? No, I'd say that's less true. It depends where you go, right? Everywhere I grew up with has sidewalks, except for one city, which is that extra rich city, which voted not to have sidewalks and voted not to have streetlights. Because they didn't want people, like, you know, walking around there at night or anything like that. So that's all the rich people in the rich houses. They said, no sidewalks, no streetlights. But everywhere else has pretty much been sidewalks. If you get to more rural areas, there's less of the sidewalks, but like in any like suburb, kind of like heavily populated area, you're most likely gonna have sidewalks. If you don't pay on the pump, you give a credit card first. Yeah, that's kind of how we normally do it. Yeah, sidewalks are kind of, they're very area specific. Sidewalks are OP. I mean, it depends, I guess. They take up, they cause a lot of, like, sidewalks shrink the ability of, like, space for the land. So, like, if the road needs to be a certain size and you have sidewalks, that shrinks the size of the lots that can be on the thing because everything gets pushed back a bit. That's, like, area you can't build on if there's a sidewalk there because that's technically government land. So, maybe? I mean, it kind of depends. Would rather walk 30 minutes than catch a bus? Yeah, but, I mean, so you're under the assumption that you can walk places here. You really can't. And buses are barely in existence. Like, there's a big difference there, too. Like, where I am, it's so, like, especially in, because in, like, Southern California, like, have you ever seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right? Where the whole big plot of that is that they're trying to get rid of the public transportation system.
Hey Vim, I'll donate $10 if you finish up this conversation and raid before it hits the hour.
Maybe. I'll do my best. Okay. But in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like, the whole point is they're trying to, like, knock down that so they can build a highway and freeway. And that's California, right? So we have shit public transportation here because they heavily focus the infrastructure on cars. That's why LA sucks. Because it's all built around cars. And that's why also the rest of the country always, like, jokes about California, calling it, like, the 5, the 405, instead of just, like, taking I-5 or taking 5. We put the there because California was one of the first states to implement the freeway system, and they had proper names back in the day. So it was the Santa Monica Freeway, the Brookhurst Freeway, whatever, those kind of things, right? So the has stuck around in referring to freeways here with the numbers, where the rest of the country, that wasn't a thing because they got them later. It's really weird. Driving LA sucks. It's the worst. What's up, Nightfall? All right, let's go raid. I think that's a good call. I've been given an incentive. There's a scheme the government is running in the UK right now where every single ticket's $2. Or, like, public transit. Oh, dude, that'd be great. I wish they would try to do public transit better. It's awful, especially for kids. It's so much harder for, like, young people to get around. Like, I have to be a taxi all the time, basically. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. All right, we're gonna go raid our friend Curdle, who is playing games from the Curdle Jam, and send some love over there. Oh, I gotta do my sub over there. I've got 32 months there. Shite. I'm banned. Should where car manufacturers lobbied first around the 1920s. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like, this is a country built off of, like, making shit for businesses. Yeah. But, yeah, sorry to, like, kind of go into rants today. It's Sunday and this kind of shit happens. But thank you guys for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Again, it was a light, quiet day, so I'm going to end a little early so I can reclaim some of my time and go just chill. It's my day off. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. We'll be back next Saturday. I'll keep you posted in Discord. I'll make an announcement like midweek what we're going to do on Saturday. I'm up in the air on whether I play games or not. Honestly, I enjoyed playing games yesterday, so there's a good chance we may do it again. But if not, yeah, we'll see what happens. But we're going to go raid our friend Curdle, who is an awesome game dev, 3D modeler, and just all-around super awesome dude. I need to get their name. But I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you guys next time. So let's get the raid up and running. When we raid with hearts, if you would be so kind to throw those in. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day or evening. And yeah, I'll talk to you then. Bye, everybody.